Hello everyone. So today we are going to start from where we stopped from last time. Last time we stopped at listing the types of systematic error or bias, where we said we have three types of systematic error. We have the selection bias, the information bias, and the confounding. So today let's look at the types of selection bias. So we have different types of selection bias. Among them, we have self-selection bias. Self-selection bias occurs if you let participants select themselves. You may find that the proactive ones will easily take part in your study, and those participants who are less proactive will not be able to take part in your study because you have let them select themselves. Then we have non-response bias. Non-response bias is when participants are given an option to respond or not. For example, in online surveys, imagine the online survey comes to your inbox when you're working on something. You have a right to respond or not because there's actually no one following you up or convincing you to respond to that study. Then you have loss to follow up bias, which normally occurs in cohort studies. In cohort studies, you have the people who are exposed and then the non-exposed. Then you're following up these participants for a given period of time to see whether they will develop the outcome. But during the time of follow-up, you realize that you lose some of the participants we are following up, maybe because they shifted to a new location. So that is loss to follow up bias. Then we have survivorship bias. Survivorship bias occurs when you focus on the part of the data sets that already went through another selection process. For example, when you use records, already recorded data, like that, they have already decided what to add in the reports and what not to add. And also you're using that data to to conduct your study. So it leads to survivorship bias because the people who recorded that data initially may have missed out some information. Then you have exclusion bias. It occurs when different eligibility criteria is used for cases and controls, which or we can say the exposed and non-exposed if it is a cohort control study. For example, you say my cases are going to be females between 18 to 20 years, and then you say my controls are going to be males between 30 and 40 years. So when you have different eligibility criteria between the cases and controls, the exposed and non-exposed, it results into exclusion bias. Then you have diagnostic bias. It occurs when you have different diagnostic tools for cases and controls. For example, you have this disease you're trying to diagnose in cases and controls, but the other ones you give them, the cases you give them a different diagnostic tool for to confirm disease, and then the controls you also give them a different diagnostic tool. So it results into diagnostic bias. Thank you so much for listening. So we shall be continuing from there to look at the different types of information bias. Those are the types of selection bias I had for you today. So you can subscribe and look out for the upcoming video. Thank you.